Hello everyone, this is Manoj Kumar. I hope you are doing well, and I would like to welcome you at the page of Shikawati International Academy, Sikar. And today we are going to start a new chapter of class ninth, and from the book Moments. So here in this chapter we are going to cover the third chapter. The name of the title is Iswaran the Storyteller. So before starting the reading and explanation, just let me bring your attention to the last word of the title, storyteller. Storyteller means a person who tells different stories. That is known as storyteller. And the name of this storyteller is Iswaran. So here the main hero or the main character of the chapter is Iswaran. And who is he and what is his role in this chapter? Actually, Iswaran is a servant. He is working he is working as a cook, as a he just associated with all the household works. He just cleaning. He is in the field of clothing, washing clothing utensils. Even he knew some others work like to cultivate different vegetables. So, and the big thing is about his role, that is he is a great storyteller. How he express his experience, his story, he explain each and everything with full dramatic way, which a person who is listening him really fascinated by the all the aspects, all the figures, all the characters he appear in his story. And he is working under whom? He is working under Mahindra. Mahindra is a person, is a young boy who is a supervisor, who is a junior supervisor in a firm, and his work is to his work of inspection of each and every sites are working properly. So his work is inspection, checking all the things are going in a right way. So Mahindra is a young boy and he had this person Iswaran as a servant. And how this servant, the Iswaran, was as a servant, he as a working as a servant, but he is a nice storyteller. How it possible? Yes, it is possible because he is so influenced by the South writers, Telugu writers or Telugu authors, and he loves to read different storybooks. So that's why everything, whatever he reads, he just categorized. He just he made himself like a dramatist person, or he is like he has become an actor. He has learned the way the author explains their drama, their story, as he has adopted the way as he read from these books. So this is all about the introduction of Iswaran. And Iswaran, my dear students, you are going to learn many new things, as well as there are some funny incidents also happen in this story, which is unbelievable, which is worth to which is not which you are not able to realize upon them, that this incidents, this story can be done, or this experience the servant has gone through. Because what happened, he imaginated stories by himself. He made story by himself without any reality that person can believe on his incident that he had gone through by this accident, by this incident, by this matter, and he came through by this incident as a hero. So no one is going to believe on him, but as he is a kind of person who loves to show that he is a very brave person. He has done many achievements in his life, but nobody is going to believe on him. That is the role of him. So just start the chapter. One night, Mahindra woke up from his sleep and saw a dark, cloudy form. He broke out into a cold sweat. What was it? A ghost? Now here, as what happened, Mahindra, as I have told you, that supervisor under him, Iswaran, is working. So he is Iswaran, this guy. This is Iswaran, my dear students. So now Mahindra woke up from his sleep, and what he saw, a form of cloudy form, a dark cloudy form. He broke out into a cold sweat. Cold sweat means he was so scared. Was it a ghost? So he saw a kind of a figure of a ghost, and then suddenly he woke up. Actually, he woke up. He was sleeping, and he suddenly woke up and saw out of his window that there was some figure which is not visible. It looked so pale. It was so uh, dark outside, so he couldn't figure out. But as far as he imagined, he saw that there was something, a figure of a ghost. So was it a ghost? So let's start the reading, and we will come to know, was it a ghost or what was the thing that the Mahindra, a young man, saw in his bed. The story was narrated to Ganesh by a young man, Mahindra by name. He was a junior supervisor in a firm which offered on the supervisors at various types of construction sites, factories, bridges, dams, and so on. So here there is a person, Ganesh, and Mahindra is trying to tell about a story, that the story was narrated to Ganesh by a young man. So the Mahindra, as a young man, he explained, he told each and every incidents to his one of colleague Ganesh, and what he saw, what he had done. Actually, he had left a place just because of he saw something, a type of ghost, and now he is explaining each and everything. And who is Mahindra? Mahindra was a junior supervisor in a firm, in a kind of a big company, which offered on hire supervisors at various type of construction sites. So actually, the supervisor work is to inspect or to see the works in different sites. The sites could be a construction sites, a factory, bridge, dam, or so on. Mahindra's job was to keep an eye on the activity at the work site. So his work is to keep an eye. As I have told you, his work is a kind of inspection. So he just observe each and everything at every work site. He had to keep moving from place to place every now and then as ordered by his head office. So what he has to shift, he has to be shifted from place to place, as this is his work, that in this city the dam work is going on, in the different part of city that the factory site is going on, in the other states a bridge is going to be constructed. So he has to go different places for the inspection, and he stayed for a while. And whatever the orders he got the orders from his head office. From a coal mining area to a railway bridge construction sites. From there, after a few months, to a chemical plant which was coming up somewhere. So here, right now, as he was working in a earlier he was working in a coal mining, and now shifted to a bridge is going for the rail. A railway bridge is going to construct. So such type of works, such type of sites, he had to migrate from place to place. And now there is a chemical plant is going to be opened, so he had to go also over there. He was a bachelor. His needs were simple, and he was able to adjust himself to all kinds of odd conditions. So yes, it was his plus point that he was a bachelor. He was a young person, and he didn't get any kind of marry. So here, till that period of time, so he could adjust himself in all kind of odd conditions. Odd conditions means bad conditions. Even the worst conditions he could easily adjust. What type of bad conditions he could adjust? Sometimes it happens that there is no any shelter, so he had to sleep out of like in a plain area, in a deserted area. Sometime in the rain season, and in the any winter, in the winter season, so he can easily manage himself to adjust in such type of atmosphere environment. Whether it was an ill-equipped circuit house or a makeshift canvas tent in the middle of the stone quarry, so he could easily adjust in each and every type of areas conditions. So whether it was a ill-equipped circuit house, you know very well, that is a electricity house. where the electricity is going to be produced or is produced, which transfer all the electricity to our home, a factory, a different part of workplaces. So whether the circuit house is so ill, so dangerful, because in the electricity house, it is a fear, it is a kind of illusion in our mind that it has a high voltage of current. Yes, it happens, but people are living also there, so they adjust. So he is also a kind of adjustable person. And makeshift canvas tent in the middle of the stone quarry, and he also can make, when there is no shelter, when there is no place to live, so he is having his own tent, so he can sleep in this tent whether the floor is totally stony, that there are so many stones which are so sharp, and no one can sleep, but he can adjust his bed, and he can sleep in the uh, big cloth of tent, and he can easily adjust in it. Stone quarry, my dear students, a kind of a stony area, that if land which is totally of stone, so he can easily maintain, he can easily sleep well. But one asset he had was his cook. But what is the best advantage for him? That was his cook. My dear students, you have understood whom I am talking about. The cook is Iswaran. Yes, the name is Iswaran. The cook was quite attached to Mahendra and followed him uncomplainingly wherever he was posted. So the best quality of cook was, or servant was, that he didn't have any kind of complaint to his honor, to his boss, or to Mahendra, wherever he was posted. Wherever he was posted for the different work, so he also went along with him, and he also, that this was his job, whose Mahendra job, to work upon a different side. But as a servant, as a loyal servant, he also adjusts with his boss and any type of areas. He cooked for Mahendra, washed his clothes, chatted away with his master at night. So what are the best quality or good quality? He cooked for Mahendra, washed his clothes, chatted with his master at night. So these are the three qualities about the cook, that cooking and washing clothes and chatted means talk to his master at night. He could weave out endless stories and anecdotes on varied subjects. So here he could weaved out. Weaved out means make. He could make endless story which do not have end. He can speak continuously about a story and anecdotes on varied subjects. So he can speak out, or he can make a different stories on any matter, on any subjects, on varied subjects, on different stories or varied subjects. Iswaran also had an amazing capacity to produce vegetables and cooking ingredients, seemingly out of nowhere. Now, so here the meaning is that he knew he had amazing skills, that he can produce different type of vegetables, even cooking ingredients, the spices. And the Mahendra doesn't know how he create them. In the middle of a desolate landscape with no shops visible for miles around, he would miraculously conjure up the most delicious dishes made with fresh vegetables within an hour of arriving at the zinc sheet shelters at the new workplace. Here, Here, the meaning of conjure up means represent. Like he bring all type of dishes in front of him. Now, the meaning of that, seemingly out of nowhere, in the middle of a desolate landscape. Desolate means a deserted area, a place which is so alone. in this world. A place which is so silent, no chirping, no movement, no people, no animals. A place, as you know, the factories, the constructed sites are very far from the cities. So he is posted over there along with this Mahendra. This servant is also shifting with him. And now here the Mahendra is saying about him that in the middle of desolate landscape with no shops visible for miles around. So if you know if the shops are there, so it is very easy to bring the household uh, stuffs, even vegetables, milk, spices for cooking, different things are required. But there is no shops in this desolate area, in this lonely area. But God knows where He bring, where He cook. So miraculously, my dear students, in a very mysterious way, He present most delicious dishes made for fresh vegetables with an hour of arriving at the zinc sheet shelter. Zinc sheet shelter, my dear, that is a kind of a kind of a place which is known as, here this word comes also, a tent. This word I am talking about. Sorry, not this. So a zinc sheet of tent. Actually, there is no any place, there is no any room, or there is no any type of house he generally gets. So he just made his own tent, and where there is a small kitchen, there is a room, a separate room for servant as well as. And in the night time, they both chatted with each other. Especially this person, the Iswaran, speak a different stories on different matters. So whenever he came in his shelter, whenever he came in his tent, so Iswaran speak different stories, or like Iswaran cook different type of foods or very delicious foods before his arriving. Mendel would be up early in the morning and leave for work after breakfast. So this is his routine, a schedule that he had to wake up early and go for his work after taking his breakfast, carrying some prepared food with him. So at for lunchtime he brought also some food with him at for his work site. Meanwhile, Ishwaran would tidy up the shed. Tidy up means clean the whole shed, wash the clothes, and have a leisurely bath, pouring several baskets of water over his head. So now when the Ishwaran went outside for his work in that period of time, what type of work he does? He did especially wash out each and every pieces of clothes of the tent, as well as washing, cleaning, and have a leisurely bath means he spent too much time in bath. He poured many buckets on his head and have a very nice feeling, comfortable feeling in that period of time. It would be lunchtime by then. After eating, he would read for a while before dozing off. Dozing off means in day sleep. When he feel little bit sleepy, then what he did, he just read something. What he read? The book was usually some popular Tamil thriller, running of hundreds of pages. Its imaginative description and narrative flourish would hold Iswaran's enthralls. Now here, the meaning actually in the before sleeping in the daytime, what he does, he loves to read a different books of Tamil authors. What some popular writers books, and which is on the matter, on the subject of thrill means adventureful, where is a action is there, where the drama is there, where the romance is there, where each and every a whole ingredients of a perfect drama, where each and every things are stuffed into it. So he loved such type of books which is based on thrill adventures, and that book were hundreds of pages, and it was all its imaginative description. means imaginative. Here the mean of imaginative means that these the stories were not based on reality. These stories were based on imagination. These were the story, we could give a word, that is virtual stories. Description and narrative flourishlessly would hold Iswaran in the thrall in his job as a servant. In thrall means in a job of servant, so he just constantly busy in that period of time, so he just reduce, or he just spend his time, a quality of time, reading books and entertainment himself by these stories and reading, the hobby. Reading as a type of this is a hobby of reading. His own descriptions were greatly influenced by the Tamil authors that he read. And his own description. Description means whenever he described any matter, any story which correlate with the authors of Tamil, means that he is so passionate towards the reading books. He is so indulged very deeply in the books. So what he did, he observed, or he devoted towards the writing skills of the authors, and now he had adopted all these activity, all this description, all these matters in his whole body, and now his mind runs according to as a author. When author explain each and every aspects of the story with so beautifully categorized, and now he also learned such hobby, such talent, that whenever he described, whenever his own description looks so dramatically, which correlate with the Tamil authors. I hope you are understanding each and every scene of the story. When he was narrating even the smallest of incidents, he would try to work in suspense and surprise, ending into the account. So whenever he is explaining any small matter, he is trying to explain that matter with full of suspense and surprise. Whether a small incident, whether he is just going to bath, whenever he is going for cooking, whatever some incidents happen in his daily routine, he explain to his boss in a very imaginative, very surpriseful, or in a suspenseful way. For example, instead of saying that he had come across an uprooted tree on the highway, he would say, now, suppose, for example, the Mahendra is telling to his one of friend or one of his known to Ganesh that how he explained his own experience, his own incidents, very small incident, which way. Suppose he had seen a unrooted tree lying on the path, lying on the highway. So how he described, how he observed, and how he speak about this tree which is abnormally fallen on the highway. What he did, with eyebrows, this part suitably arrest and hands held out in a dramatic gesture, and now he just pulled his hands very outwards, and now this is the way he explained. The road was deserted and I was all alone. Deserted means that that road was no means of land, no movement of any vehicles, no movement of persons, no movement of any animal. This place was totally silent, quiet, alone, lonely, and he was also alone. Suddenly, I spotted something that looked like an enormous bushy beast lying sprawled across the road. Now here, what happened? He said that when I was walking on the road, I found a big, enormous means a big bushy beast. Bushy means a kind of a kind of a ghost which has a very long tattered clothes lying sprawled across the road. So here the meaning of sprawled means he was spread, extended towards the whole road. So now this is the way he explained. I saw half inclined to turn and go back. I saw little bit, but I thought that I should move back because it could be so scary, it could be so dangerous to go near this ghost. But as I came closer, I saw that it was a fallen tree with its dry branches spread out, and that the branch, the all the branches as the tree rooted out. So his all the branches, the leaves were fallen down. Now the only sticks as a form of branch were just hanging upwards. Now it looks like these are the hands of this a big ghost. But when he came closer to it, it shows, or he saw that it was nothing, just a fallen tree, and its dry branches were moving upwards and standing upwards. But as I came closer, I saw that it was a fallen tree. It was branches spread out. Mahendra would stretch himself back in his canvas chair and listen to Ishwaran's tales uncertainly, uncritically. Now here, what he did then, whenever he disclosed the matter, then he just moved backwards towards the chair and listen this story uncritically, without any tension, without any problem. He just continuously listening the story, because this is their habits, this is their routine. When after having supper, after having dinners, they chat together, they just have conversation with each other. The place I came from is famous for timber. Ishwaran wood began. There is a richly wooded forest all around. So now here, a new incident, a new story, that the servant is going to be speak out, is trying to say something. It was a famous for timber. Timber is a kind of a wood, a timber wood which we have in our house as a form of furniture. The timber produce what the board, the wood board, plywood, and also plies as well as. So Ishwaran Wood said that where he used to live, it was a very foresty area, a big thick spreaded a forest is there. The log are hauled on the lorries by elephants. So the logs means the piece of wood, the piece of trees, the big the stamp, we can say. The stamp was carried out on the lorries, on the trucks by the elephants. So the elephants work as a bulldozer. That period of time, the crane or such type of system was not there. So the elephants work as a crane. They just put the logs, the big wood pieces into their trunk and put it on the lorries, on the trucks. They are huge, well-fed beasts. So here this beast word used for the elephants. When they turn wild, even the most experienced mahot is a word which used for those who, as a teacher or as a mentor or as a owner who runs his elephant, who just that elephant obey his mahot. So mahot always attached with his one elephant. He just take bath with him, food him, or work with him. Everything. This is the responsibility of a mahot, a person who control just his own elephant. But whenever the elephant become crazy, when elephant become so wild that it's very difficult for the mahot to control on him. After the prologues, Ishwaran would launch into an elaborate episode involving an elephant. Episode, I have already told you a matter. So now what he had done, he just start. This was the starting. Now this start, Ishwaran would launch into an elaborate episode involving an elephant. Now he is telling a new story, a new experience of his life of about elephant. One day, a tusker escaped from the timber. Tusker, my dear student, elephant. A tusker escaped, left the timber yard where all the woods were preparing. All the woods are cut in different pieces and then taken to in a different place of the city, place of the state, that timber yard, and began to roam about, stamping on bushes. Stamping means putting his big giant feet on the all the bushes and tearing up wild creepers. Creepers means, as we have, the tree has branches, but these creepers are a kind of a branches of a, or we can say it's a bale, and breaking branches as will, whatever he desire, he just breaking, ruining all the things surrounding him. You know, sir, how an elephant behave when it goes mad? Now he asking the question, or telling the about the behavior of elephant. You know that the behavior of the elephant when he goes mad, Ishwaran would get so caught up in the excitement of his own story that he would get up from the floor and jump about, stamping his feet in emulation of the mad elephant. He just, emulation means copying. He just mimic or trying to copy how the elephant was pretending and that mad situation, how he was just, Ishwaran also trying to act like an elephant and stand up from on the floor and putting his feet here and there like as elephant does. So he is just trying to, he becomes so excited, and the as well as the Mahindra also becomes so excited to listen or to see the reaction of Ishwaran as he was behaving like a elephant. The elephant reached the outskirt of our town. Outskirt means the border area of our town, breaking the fences down like mastics, whatever the fences which are protected for the field by the cattle, by the stray animals, and he was just breaking all the fences like in mastics matches. He would continue. It came into the main road and smashed all the stalls selling fruits. Now finally he had entered in the town and smashing all the shops, all the stalls of fruits, mud post and clothes. So whatever the small mud shops were there, any clothes were there, he just breaking them. People ran helter skelter in panic. People were moving here and there. Too much panic was there. People were so scared. People were so fearful or tense. The elephant now entered a school ground where children were playing, breaking through the brick wall. So now finally the elephant had reached into a school ground, a playground where the students were playing in it, and when they saw, they were just also ran away. And how he entered, he just broke the wall and entered into the school premises, in the area of school where a playground was also set up there. All the boys ran into the classroom and shut the door tight. This just because of panic, just because of fear, all the students ran into their classes and just closed the doors from inside. The beast grunted and wandered about. Grunted means loud, very noisy. He was crying or he was screaming so loudly and wandered about, pulling out the football goalpost, tearing down the volleyball net. And what he was doing, he was doing the destruction of each and every the objects which were he facing. Like first he just rooted out the football goalpost, and there was a net of volleyball game, and he also ruined it, break it. Kicking and flattering the drum kept for water, and there was a drum, he was just kicked and smashed this also water of drum, and uprooted the shrubs means the small plants. Meanwhile all the teachers had climbed up to the terrace of the school building. From there they helplessly watched the depredations, the destruction of the elephant. That elephant was ruining all these objects, and the teachers were looking all these things, all the stuffs, all this prospect through the roof, the terrace where they were just standing. There was not a soul below on the ground. Now here no one can dare, no one was wandering near this playground. The streets were empty as if all the inhabitants of the entire town and suddenly disappeared. Now here it looks like that the whole town people, inhabitants means the people, the citizens of the town were disappeared just because of the scare of this mad elephant. So this is the reality. It happens, my dear students. You have seen many videos on TV, on internet, that whenever a mad elephant, if a elephant get mad, then this is become an object of destruction. It can ruin each and every. It takes many people lives. It kills many people because the elephants, actually they are the animals who lives in forest, and this is their real house. What? The forest. But the town, living middle the people, living in mid of the people, living in the life of, or in the circle of humans, this is totally against their rules, against their inheritance, as they were the animals where earlier they used to live in the forest. But as for the people lust, as for the people who just for their desire, they just take these elephants help as a way of help to get a source of income. That's why they involve such elephants in their business for carrying big heavy weights, as well as the also the elephants work as a plugging in the fields. So different works are made or created by the elephant. I was studying in the junior class at that time. Who was I? That the storyteller. Who is storyteller? The Iswaran. Iswaran was saying that that period of time I was also studying. I was in a junior class at this time, maybe 8 10 class, and was watching the whole drama from the rooftop. So he was also standing in the rooftop, in the terrace, and also looking all the drama. I don't know what came over me suddenly. I grabbed a cane from the hands of one of the teacher and ran down the stairs and into the open. So what happened? I don't know. Some spirits, some power came over me. I don't know where from else, but what I did, I just took the stick from the hand of my teacher and ran towards the elephant, this beast, into the open in the playground. The elephant grunted and menacingly swung a branch of tree which it held in its trunk. So what he happened, and what the when I reached downside, what I saw, that elephant was holding a big piece of branch of tree into his trunk. Trunk means, my dear students, the nose, the nozzle area, which is a very big part, a big portion of his body, and he was just holding and throw it, menacingly swung means throw it very far with powerful, and grunted means speak like he was just making a trumpet sound is called for grunted. He was just making a loud trumpet to make people scared. It stamped its feet, kicking up a lot of mud and dust. Now, what he was just doing, he was just stamping to the ground, and just kicking on the ground, and the lot of mud and dust was flying in this near his surrounding. It looked frighteningly. For a while, I seemed that this is a whole prospect was so frightful, but I moved slowly towards it, stick in hands. People were watching, the sense hypnotized from nearby housetops. Now this scene was trying to hypnotize the people who was looking at me by different places of their houses. And what happened? The elephant looked at the red eyed. Now the elephant was totally in a red eyes, means that this piece of creature was so in anger, ready to rush towards me, and he was trying to come to me. It lifted its trunk and trumpeted loudly. And now what he did, he lifted his trunk and screamed so loudly. At that moment, I moved forward and mustering all my forces, mustering means gathered all my forces, whacked in the third toenail on the quick. Whacked means, my dear students, attack. I just attacked by the stick on his third toenail. The toe, you know that, and in this toe, the lower part of the